Yo ho ho, Don Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th day of fully padded practice has concluded, and as always, we have some top storylines to bring your way. That is going to be including a couple of names that might sneak on to the 53-man roster. That's also including the chemistry update between Stefan Diggs and Josh Allen. Yet another turn in the forever roller coaster competition for the kicking position between Tyler Bass, Stephen Hoshka, and a little bit more. Make sure you stay tuned. Before we get down to the nitty-gritty, I need to give two big announcements. Number one, you see that like button right there? Do me a favor and give it a little tap-a-rooney. You can give it a little tap-a-jabrani, tap-a-juicy. Just smash the out of it. And so besides that, guys, if you're sitting at your house tonight and you wonder, what the hell is Dan Mitchell doing right now? And it just so happens to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, I'll tell you what, Don Mafia. I'm going to be recording the very first episode of Bleav in Bills with Aaron Williams tonight at 6 p.m. EST. And so we're planning on dropping it late tonight, and it should be ready for your drive to work, or the second that you wake up in the morning and you're just like really longing for some audio content about the Bills. You're going to love it. So mark your calendars and do me a favor and subscribe to either Spotify or Apple Podcasts so you will be notified the second that it drops. We have a banger lined up, and I guarantee you don't want to miss it. So yeah, guys, so first story is going to have to be the chemistry between Josh Allen and Stefan Diggs. Apparently, Josh had a tremendous day today, and one of the commonalities was the fact that he targeted Stefan Diggs the most he has throughout the entirety of all the practices that have been going on. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Stefan Diggs is really stepping up and showing that he can be a leader in this locker room. I mean, I can't tell you how many clips I've seen of Stefan Diggs pulling Josh Allen aside, or pulling Barkley aside, or even pulling some of the rookie wide receivers aside. He is getting involved with this offense. He wants to win. He sees the potential, and he's absolutely doing it. And so there was even a clip of Josh Allen throwing a perfect pass to Stefan Diggs. I'm pretty sure it was on a slant route, and you could visibly see Stefan Diggs getting excited, basically meaning that this chemistry, which we so desperately need to work in 2020, is finally starting to meld and get going. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that, but it sounds like Josh and Stefan Diggs are taking that next step and get the popcorn, baby. And so it wouldn't be a training camp update if I didn't talk about the roller coaster of a competition between Tyler Bass and Stephen Hoshka. Hoshka did not kick today. As we all know, yesterday he had a very strong camp. I'm pretty sure he went 100% of all of his kicks. But then Tyler Bass went on ahead and he responded with having a perfect day himself. Capped off the day with a 52-yarder straight down the pipes. So, I mean, right now, this is really an interesting topic. I mean, we love Stephen Hoshka, but since that 2018 hit, he just hasn't been the same. So, I mean, we're going to have to see whether that fire that was lit under his ass is going to reignite his career, or what. And so whether or not that he's going to be kicked to the curb for a rookie in Tyler Bass, we have no idea what's going on, but we'll see. And so yet another subject that I could not go a Don Mafia report without bringing up, and that's Gabe Davis. Today, Gabe Davis correct myself. Gabriel Davis. In fact, during his interview today, one of the reporters asked him what he preferred. He said Gabriel because Mama Davis prefers it. So from now on, ladies and gentlemen, it is Gabriel. And you best say Gabriel because of all you fools that have ever made fun of me for mispronouncing or saying the wrong name, karma's a bitch. But yeah, so he ended up sitting down through an interview today, and he's fully aware of exactly what the Buffalo Bills want him to do, and that's be that 50-50 type receiver. And I mean, you can watch highlights of this guy left and right, and it seems like that he's really gelling into the system, and he's really taking initiative to learn the playbook. In fact, he even mentioned that him and Isaiah Hodgins legitimately went back to high school days and had flashcards prior to showing to camp so they could familiarize themselves with the playbook as soon as possible and step ahead. That's exactly what you need to see from a rookie wide receiver. When Gabriel Davis was asked who do you most resemble your game off of, or who do you try to emulate? And he said Larry Fitzgerald. He loved watching him play. He was an idol growing up. And frankly, say that we can get a young Larry Fitzgerald on this team right in Gabriel Davis, then you can sign me the fuck up. And so last but not least, a couple reporters have been starting to give out their names of surprise positions that may make this roster. And one of those surprises was a Brian Cox Jr. We all know him for his father. He absolutely hated the Buffalo Bills back when he played for Miami. But apparently he is having a very, very strong practice. And there's a strong likelihood that he might make the 53 based off of his performance alone. But then number two, and in my opinion, most likely going to make 53, and I didn't think that he would either, and his former cornerback for the University of Buffalo, Cam Lewis. Now, guys, you know that he was an undrafted free agent. The Buffalo Bills ended picking him up. But now there's definitely a lot of questions because we don't know whether or not that Josh Norman, when he's going to be back, whether or not that he's going to get any type of practice time, or whether or not that he'll be back by week 1, week 2, who knows. And then something that I forgot to mention yesterday, our 7th round draft pick in Ike Brown, he just upped and retired, right? I mean, he went through about 4 or 5 practices and then he decided to retire and call it quits on football before it even began. So now when it comes down to the cornerback depth department, I really think that Cam Lewis has a very good shot of making this team. Do me a favor. Who do you think is going to be your sleeper to make the 53 that nobody is talking about? I really want to hear your thoughts. Don Mafia, that's going to be the report. I mean, those main stories were what were really circulating around camp. There was still a strong showing from the defense, of course, especially the defensive line, the secondary as well. But most importantly, it seems like our offense is finally starting to click, and that's something that the Buffalo Bills fans need to hear going into week 1 during this very obscure offseason. Don Mafia, thank you for tuning in to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. Do me a favor, subscribe to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Bleav in Bills with me and Aaron Williams. I'll put the links in my description, and be on the lookout for the podcast tomorrow. And above all else, let's go Buffalo.